So here we're looking at solving a compound inequality. And we have two separate inequalities, and we are going to compare them by looking at and, which is the intersection. So notice each inequality, we can actually solve for x, and that's what we want to do first. So the first thing we want to do is solve both inequalities separately. Okay, so we're going to take the first one and start solving that. So we can simplify the right side, um, distributing the -3. We're going to get 2 and then minus 3x, -3 times x, and -3 times -4 is plus 12 is less than -1. We'd end up with -3x plus 14 is less than -1. So isolating the variable term, we'll attach a -14, and we get -3x is less than -15. And then isolating the variable, we want to divide both sides by -3 or attach that -1/3 to both sides. And when we do that, remember, so anytime we multiply or divide by a negative number, we need to switch the sign. So I'm going to switch the sign right now. And we end up with x on the left side, and then -15 over -3 is +5. So here's the inequality when we solve for it on the left. On the right side, here, we'll isolate the variable term so I can add 7x to both sides. That would give me 9x plus 18 is greater than or equal to -9. Isolating the variable term again, we'll attach a -18 to both sides. That would give me 9x is greater than or equal to -27. And then canceling that factor of 9, we'd have x on the left side greater than or equal to -3. So the two inequalities that we're comparing with an and would be x is greater than 5 and x is greater than or equal to -3. So each one we solved, we simplified, and now the second step is to compare the inequalities, right? On adjacent number lines. And that's so we can look for overlap and so on. So I'm going to bring step 2 over here. So we're going to graph each one of these. So here's x is greater than 5. So x is greater than 5. I kind of run them. These aren't the best number lines to use, but that would be an open circle at 5 and everything to the right. And then x is greater than or equal to -3. So it'd be a closed circle at -3, and then everything to the right again. And the last thing is our actual answer. Where is x greater than 5 and x greater than or equal to -3? And this is where we want to look for the overlap. Where do these two lines overlap? And if I look at it, it looks like they start overlapping at 5 and everything to the right. So at 5, they actually do not overlap at 5, but that's where it starts. So that's an open circle, and then everything to the right. So this is actually a graph of our solution. And I know this isn't the best lines to work with, but The overlap starts at 5. It does not include 5. The inequality of our solution, we can simply write as x is greater than 5. So it's the same as one of our answers, right? And then the interval notation for this would be, it starts at 5 and it goes to infinity to the right. So again, if we have inequalities, we want to solve the inequalities first. So get them x is greater than 5 and x greater than or equal to -3, and then compare the inequalities on adjacent number lines so we can see the overlap. So step 3 is actually finding the overlap because this is an intersection that I'm looking for. And they only overlap for numbers greater than 5. So those are all problems or inequalities dealing with an AND connector. But what happens if we have an OR connector? So this next example is the same thing. I just want to solve, but notice this one is an OR connector. And an OR connector is a union. So we want both or all numbers, right? In both answers and both inequalities. So again, we'll start off with solving each inequality. So we can add 2 to both sides here on the left. And we would have 7x is less than or equal to 14. And then dividing by 7, we get x is less than or equal to 2. On the right side, we can add 3 to both sides. And we end up with x over 5 is greater than 3. And then multiply by 5 to cancel the 5 in the denominator. And we would have x is greater than 15. Okay, so now here's our two inequalities, and we're looking at an OR, which is a union between them. So again, the second step is I'm going to compare or graph on adjacent number lines. So compare graphs of solutions of both, right, on adjacent number lines. So number lines that line up. So over here, we're just going to graph each one of them. X is less than or equal to 2. So x is less than or equal to 2. So here's 2. Less than or equal to 2 would be a solid circle and everything to the left. And then we also want to compare that with x greater than 15. And again, on our graphs, what we could do, and I know this isn't the numbers that we have right here, but what we'll do is we'll just substitute these and use 15 as our last point. X is greater than 15 would be an open circle at 15, and then everything to the right. So I'm just replacing the last numbers with 15. I just know it's somewhere to the right. So now our comparison for step 3 is we want x less than or equal to 2 or x greater than 15. And this is a union of both. And so what we're going to do is graph both number lines. So we want everything in the first one, x less than or equal to 2. So this is part of our solution. And then we also want to include everything greater than 15. Okay, so this would actually be a graph of our solution. It would be both of those lines, both of those arrows, right, on one number line. And this is actually a graph of our solution. The inequality would actually be an inequality for the left side, which is x less than or equal to 2, and then union x greater than 15. So this is how we would write the inequality with those two parts. The interval notation would be basically each part again. So x less than or equal to negative 2 would be negative infinity to 2 with a bracket on 2. And then the other inequality would be 15 to infinity with a parenthesis. And then again, we just put a union between these, and that would be the interval notation for both. So again, with an OR connector, we want our answer to have all of the possible solutions. So we get the number line generated with x less than or equal to 2, including the number line generated with x greater than 15. So we have two parts of the graph. The inequalities, we have two parts, and we use a union symbol between them. And then with interval notation, we have two parts, and we just use the union symbol between those two. All right.